Hello there, my name is Peter Thompson and I've been teaching people to play golf and improve their golf now for about 4 to 6 years. To me, teaching is the best part of the game. I've played pretty good golf myself, but I get more satisfaction from improving other people's golf than improving my golf. In fact, I haven't played golf for 10 years. I just rather give golf lessons. This DVD it's not about a secret, because I don't believe there are secrets in golf swings anyway. But there are certain things that are extremely important. I've been watching golf swings now for quite a long time, 40 years, 46 years, and studying golf swings in depth, swings of good golfers, swings of Open champions, etc., and swings going back into the last century, hundreds of years ago. And I've discovered one little thing that isn't a secret, but it's extremely important. It's called the 105-degree line, and I doubt you'll find this referenced in any book, golf book at all, because I've discovered this angle, this line, all by myself by watching how good golfers actually play golf. So rather than try to describe the line to you, I'm going to go back to my computer screen and then I will show you exactly what the line is and how it can improve your golf if you follow the principles. So here we are back at my computer screen, and I'm going to explain by showing you how some of the best golfers in the world actually play golf and the importance of this 105-degree line. We're going to start with Darren Clark, and I taught this film myself at the Masters in 2004 when I was a guest of Gary Wolstenholme, who just won the 2003 Amateur Championship. So 105-degree line is this. This is the 105-degree line, and it passes through the middle of the back of his right hand. When he swings back, what's going to happen? His hands are virtually on that 105-degree line. Well, we'll show that one again. So, the line is in the middle of the back of the right hand. Top of the backswing, the end of the club is more or less exactly on that line. I'll now show you another great golf swing. Retief Goosen, and I'll just move the line across again to the middle of the back of the right hand, and then we'll just play his swing through slowly and see where his hand goes compared to where the line is. So more or less on the line. Top of the backswing, the butt of the club was a fraction to the right of the line, but almost exactly on it. So there's two great golfers, and they're both swinging back to not exactly the same place, but to very, very similar places. Let's go back and look at Tiger Woods. When he won the 2007 USPGA, this is about 3 years ago now. And again, we'll draw the line on the middle of the back of the right hand. Just adjust it slightly. The pitch is not too good, I'm afraid, but for the purposes of seeing where the hands go on the line, it'll be fine. And as you can see, the butt of the club and his hands are almost exactly on the line. We'll show that one again. Top of the backswing, hands on the line. Probably slightly confused as to how the line comes about, but I'm going to show you in a few seconds how that actually works. Ladies, men, uh, most irons, this line applies to long irons, medium irons, short irons. This is a pitching wedge. This is Lorena Ochoa, who retired this year, having won the title of the best lady golfer in the world. Age 28, just stopped playing. To me, that's fantastic. And again, playing a shot into the 18th green at St Andrews, and the line is in the middle of the back of the right hand. And the top of the backswing, she's on the line, which is quite remarkable, really. So we've seen 4 different golfers, 4 different golf clubs, and they're taking the golf club back almost exactly on the same line. So I'm going to go back now onto the mat and explain in more detail what this line actually means. I'll just get the line back on the screen. So the line is on the screen now, and I'm going to explain to you the relevance of that line. You've probably heard of John Jacobs, very, very famous teacher, superb golf teacher, and John Jacobs has always, as I try and do, make the game as simple as possible, even though it's a very difficult game. John would always try and explain to people the simple movements rather than the complicated ones. I tend to do the same thing. John Jacobs said, to understand the swing, you need to realize 2 things. 1, your shoulders are going to turn. So there's a shoulder turn. 2, your arms are going to lift this way. Arms are going to lift. So connecting your arms to your chest and keeping them locked in together simply won't work. Your arms need to lift and your shoulders, chest, hips need to turn. If you turn your shoulders approximately 90 degrees, which is about there, and most people can do this, by the way. If you then lift your arms about in front of your head, maybe opposite your nose, if you do that and then turn your shoulders around about 90 degrees, you wind up with your hands exactly on the line. So the 105 degree line is simply a result of a correct body turn and a correct arm lift. If you only turn your body round, then your hands and arms will come way, way, way too far behind you. If you only lifted your arms upwards, then your arms would be way too far in front of you. So the 105 degree line is simply a combination of a proper body turn and a proper arm lift. Arms lift, shoulders turn. I know there's more to a golf swing than that, but essentially the arm movement is very important and the shoulder turn is very important. So we need to get the shoulders to turn round 90 degrees and your arms to lift upwards. Get the combination right, turning, lifting, turn, lift, lift, turn, and you'll be more or less on that line. Ideally, you'll turn round and lift at the same time, and there you are on the line. You don't actually have to be exactly on the line, as you saw with the previous shots. So I'll go back to the computer now and show you where you can be if you're not quite on the line. So we're back to our computer screen now, and I'm going to show you one of the best golf swings ever, belonging to Ben Hogan. And here's Ben Hogan. I think this is practicing at the Masters a few years ago, many years ago now. So we'll draw the line on the back of his right hand. It always goes on the back of the right hand, and then we'll see where the hands go. And the hands have gone a little bit to the left of the line. So on the line is fine. A fraction to the left of the line is also fine, because that's Ben Hogan and he's not exactly on the line. He's a bit to the left because he's got quite a lot of body turn and less arm movement, so he doesn't quite go onto the line. So if there is a doubt about whether to lift your arms or turn your shoulders and your hips, the key thing is to turn your shoulders and turn your hips, and then your arms have got a good chance of going back into a good position. Wonderful golf swing. Let's look at a very, very modern golfer now. Lee Westwood. So again, the line goes on the back of the middle of the right hand, and then we'll see where his hands get to the top of the backswing from the starting point. Clearly the starting point needs to be fairly accurate, hips out, arms hanging down, and then we can measure the line going back very accurately. So we'll just go back, and hands slightly outside the line because he's lifting his arms early. Then he gets the turn, so now, remarkably, his hands are back on the same line. I could show you literally hundreds and hundreds of golfers, and they all go back more or less onto that line with irons. With woods it's slightly shorter because you're standing further away from the ball. Then the hands come down, slightly outside that line, and all good golfers, they bring the hands down outside or to the right of the line they've gone back on. So we'll now just watch that one again. His hands are on the line at address, then he takes his arms back, then he turns his shoulders round onto the line, then the hands come down just outside the line. Great swing. Nice shade of green, shouldn't have been there, but it's still a nice shade of green. And this is Ross Fisher, current World Match Play Champion, 2010. And we'll see if he's on the line. Hands going back to the left of the line because he's turning early. Then he lifts his arms onto the line. Then the hands come down outside the line. The backswing is vitally important, gives you a good hitting position. The 105-degree line is, as you've seen, an optimum position to bring your hands down from. 105 degrees, by the way, is only 15 degrees away from being vertical. It's quite steep. Quite steep. And a great golf swing. Let's watch one more. This is Bobby Jones, who was so good at playing golf that when he was 28 in 1930, having won the US Open 4 times, beating all the pros, having won the US Amateur 5 times, the British Open 3 times, beating all the pros, and the British Amateur once, he just retired from competitive golf. Went on to design Augusta National. Go back to the beginning of this one. Again, hands, back of the right hand, middle of the line. Big turn now, really big hip turn and chest turn, so the hands come to the left of the line. Then the hands go up, and as you can see, they're more or less on the line at the top of the backswing. Great position to hit the ball from. Let's watch that one again. I love watching this swing. Turn, lift. Turn, lift. If you're not on the line, then left of the line is absolutely fine. So we're going to go back on the mat now and do a few more explanations of the importance of this line. I hope by now you're understanding more about this 105-degree line. It's extremely important. As I said, I could show you hundreds and hundreds of golfers who swing back, and they're all more or less on that line. Even people who think they have flat swings or high swings, they can quite easily get onto the line. There's too much turn, not enough lift. There's too much lift, not enough turn. So it's just a combination, and it's quite tricky to do, I can assure you. But a bit of perseverance, push your hands in front of your face, turn your shoulders and chest round, then you'll be on the line. It's a good place to be. It's an ideal place to come down from to hit the ball at the right angle. So let's try. They're straight, slightly thin, but straight is important. This line will give you very, very straight golf shots. Another reason why this line is important is this. If you can get your swing plane or your swing line on this line or thereabouts all the way up and all the way down, it actually improves your short game. Imagine what would happen, for example, if I started off with my hands on the line and I want to hit the ball just 20-30 yards, but for whatever reason I don't turn enough, so my hands go out to the right. Then the ball will go to the left. Unless of course you make some very complicated change of direction. If your hands go too far below the line because you've turned too far with no arm movement upwards, then the ball now will probably go out to the right. Don't forget the ball only goes where the club face goes, not necessarily where you want it to go, which is why you need to try to control the line of the swing all the way up and all the way down. Hands out, ball left, too much turn, ball right, unless you make some very, very clever alterations in the downswing. And it's quite possible to do that, but why bother? Why bother going that way, then having to change it, or going this way and then having to change it, when there's an easy way? Just get the club in the right place for all the different ball shots. Basically the same anyway. So turn and lift. Even on the short shots it works. Turn round, lift your arms, and you'll be on the line. I'm going to go back now to my computer screen and show you one or two of my pupils who've done extremely well, and then you can see how by changing the angle of their hands going back to the 105 line, they've improved their golf quite considerably. So I'm going to show you a young man called Tom Peacock. This is his first lesson with me, quite a long time ago, and his handicap was +1, which is extremely good. In fact, he's won the Dorset County Championships on 2 occasions. He's done really well. And here's a 105-degree line, again, on the middle of the back of the right hand. And we'll just take him back and see what happens. So on the line, at the top of the backswing, just maybe 1.5 to 2 inches outside the line, which gives him a problem because when he comes down he's still going to stay too far outside the line, and then coming down towards the bottom to hit the ball, his hands are right of the line and now they're left of the line. The shots will therefore go to the left. Because he's very talented, he could hit the shots a bit to the left and get away with it. But I thought there's a better way of doing it really, because he's got lots of talent for hitting golf balls, so let's give him a better position to hit them from. So I'm going to split the screen and we can see the real difference. So same golfer, same line, in the same place, and now we'll watch him turn round. Now his hands are just left of the line because he's turning around rather than lifting his arms excessively, and now his hands are smack bang on the line. Small difference, but +1 on the left, +3 on the right. Now the line coming down is way better. Small differences, I admit, tiny differences, maybe an inch and a half, but an inch and a half difference in the swing line when you're off +1 is a huge amount. Now his shots go straight. See, the hands are going straight down the line rather than going to the left of the line. So watch the new one again. And to achieve this, less arm movement, more turn. So you can see quite clearly the chest and the hips are moving, and if you watch the arrow on his right hip there, hips have gone immediately, so the hips turn immediately, the chest turns immediately, and you'll find now that the little mark on his hip has gone because he's turned around a long way, and it's the turn that gets the hands back on the right line. That's a good swing. So here's Gary Wolstenholme. I reduced his handicap from +1 to +5, and he has since become the best English amateur golfer of all time. Gary didn't ever want to see where the balls were going in the lesson, so we had the nets closed. Then he could work on the swing. So this is Gary's swing in my studio, hands exactly on the line, and then I'll show you Gary's swing playing in the Walker Cup 2003, which they won, I'm sure they won. I'll just move him across slightly. I think this was a Ganton, I'm sure it was a Ganton. It looks like Ganton. So, practicing on the left in my studio. This is for real, out on the golf course, and Gary's quite happy to do the same things on the golf course as in the studio, as you can see. Exactly on the line. That's great. And he hits the ball phenomenally straight. Really does. Even though he hits the ball phenomenally straight, this is Ganton and there's lots of course pushes, and he could probably have threaded a driver down between those two banks of course pushes, but he still chose to use an iron just to make sure he was exactly in the right place for the second shot. Tee shots are positional things, get in position for your next shot. Downswings follow backswings. Backswings are positional, get in position, and from there it's quite difficult to hit a bad golf shot. So we'll go back on the mat. I'm just going to move this line down here. So I try to end my DVDs with a conclusion and some way of practicing the thoughts I've given you in the DVD. So we'll go back to the arm, and the arm movement in a golf swing is going to be away from your body. You don't want to get your arms too tight to your chest because you're going to move your arms away from your body, about to the middle of your head. If you then turn round, then you'll be on the line. Then coming down will be not very easy, but certainly easier. Too much lift, you'll be in front of the line and the shots will definitely go to the left. Too much turn and you'll be behind the line and the shots will definitely go to the right. Don't forget the ball goes where the club goes, not necessarily where you want it to go to. So to practice this, keep your body still, don't lift your body with your arms, keep your body fairly still, then lift your hands in front of your face, then turn round, and if you do that correctly, then you'll be on the line. Too much turn, you go too far behind the line. So it's the lift of your arms, both of your arms, and a turn of your chest and your hips. Ideally, you would find a coach, professional coach, who has a computer. I've been using computers for 10 years now and cameras for 28 years. Ideally, find a coach with a computer and then ask him to get your stance right and your posture right, and then put the 105-degree line on the back of the right hand, and then you can see if you go back where you're going back to. It's very, very important. And the only other way to do it really is to swing your hands back using a mirror. So if you have the edge of a mirror more or less on your right ankle bone, then as you swing back, your hands will be more or less over your right ankle bone. It's best to work on the principle of correct movements. John Jacobs said, lift, turn. They're equally important. Equally important. Of the two, I think the turn is probably slightly more important. As you saw with Ross Fisher and Bobby Jones, they turn round very, very quickly. And if you turn round, at least then you've got the option of lifting your arms. So if I turn round, let's get on the line there. So if I turn round and then lift my arms, then I can get on the line or just a fraction under the line. If I don't turn round, I've got no chance whatsoever. So the two things of the lift and the turn, I think the turn is slightly more important. So there's a 105-degree line. It's not a secret. There are no secrets. It certainly is, I think, a very important discovery, and I use that line on all of my pupils, and virtually everybody who gets on the line, they simply improve. And you will do too. Thank you for listening. Thank you.